What's up? What's up? Another day leveled up. It's your boy, Salem, back with another one for you. Today I'm going to be talking about how to find your purpose and my story essentially, because I feel like me bringing to light my story and where I'm from and where I've came from is really valuable to people. And I feel it's so important because it's my duty, I feel, to let the world know my story and allow others to be inspired and for myself to feel worthy at the end of the day and say who and what I am is valuable and feel worthy of my goals and dreams, because if I don't feel valuable and want my journey and feel ashamed of where I've came from, why would I feel anybody else would want to value that or respect that if I don't respect that myself? So definitely want to help you guys figure out how to find your purpose, because I feel like I've finally found it. Well, I'm 28 years old. I've gone through some shit. I feel like some ups and downs. I've read a lot of things. I've read a lot of books. I've experienced a lot, so I feel able, willing and able to bring you guys some light and some knowledge to help you guys get to where you guys need to go and level up and pretty much assume your role, which God in the universe has led you and put you here for. So I just want to say thank you to all the subscribers as well who keep rolling in. Like I said, I'm a month into this, a little bit more than a month now, and got a little over 300 subscribers. So I appreciate you guys leveling up with me. So let's get into this. So growing up, I was always kind of felt compelled to do something. I didn't know exactly what, but I always felt divinely led. And I have some notes here. If you see me looking over here, I'm trying to condense my 28 years of life into like 2 pages here, some bullet points. So I appreciate you guys being patient with me. I have a little sinus issues, so if I sound a little weird, that's just why I have a little sinus issue. So I always felt divinely led in my life. Didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I was always in the right place at the right time, it seemed like. I made friends with everyone growing up, from grade school to high school. I was always the kid who was always observing for the most part. I wasn't the loudest kid. I was actually the real shy kid growing up, didn't say too much. But I was always talking to people who were popular and not, because I always just wanted to see, I was curious to know what made people tick, how things just ticked. As a kid, I was always taking off the backs to remotes and shit and trying to build my own toys and always trying to figure out how things work. And that's overflowed into my life till this day. I'm still trying to figure out how things work as far as the laws of the universe, female nature, myself. I just want to know how things work, and it's in my benefit to know. I'm not just gonna be out here just trying my hand at things if people have figured out there's rules to this and that. Like, why not read it? Why not freshen up on that shit? But looking back, I now see God has always allowed me to see the best in people and gave me the ability to formulate my words in a manner of encouragement. And I say that humbly, very humbly. I feel it's a gift, but I never felt growing up that it was a gift, because gifts as a kid, you're thinking like, yeah, that dude's skilled at basketball, that dude's skilled at this and that, and you're just like, where's my blessing? Where's my gift? And it took me up until now to starting to figure out, like, yo, bro, like, recognize how the world is treating you and see if there's something to it. Up till this point, I've had so many people telling me, like, yo, you'd be great as a psychologist or something. Like, my friends would tell me this. My dad had a prophetic dream. He told me that I was going to be speaking to a lot of people, changing lives, but still then I was like, yo, nah, I got some I want to do something else. I want to do music. I want to do this. I want to do that. But it's like, I'm glad I didn't listen, because I wouldn't have fell in love with it at that point. If it's just not how it is. We're stubborn. But yeah, it's funny because growing up as a kid, you're wanting to be and do certain things that the society, maybe your family's telling you is best for you, but it never really works out, because you get to a point, if not by your own accord, you're not going to enjoy that. You may be in a good career or job, but if you didn't feel inclined to do it, you're going to be there wishing you were somewhere else. But a point I'd say to finding your purpose is remaining curious. I always followed my intuition growing up, even though I didn't know where it was leading me. Sounds a little scary. A lot of people don't live their life that way, but that's how I live my life. It's kind of weird. Like, I'm not a gambler at all. I could care less to go to Vegas or anything like that, but I take a lot of gambles in life if I see there's a benefit. And I trust my intuition first. I take calculated risk other than just like hitting a slot machine or something like that. But I've always had these dreams and insights that I was put here to do something, but I'm starting to believe that more and more as things start to go, because I'm mind blown by the progress that's happening. But my journey hasn't always been the smoothest. They say when God gives you a lot of power, be ready for a lot of pain. Pain is what he gives you to keep you from arrogance. And I definitely believe that. I've been through some shit from the depths. I'm going to get into that real quick, just a bit. But I for the longest felt ashamed of my upbringing, because it wasn't the most stable home, or didn't have my dad around. So me and my brothers, I have two brothers. I'm the middle child, older and younger brother I have. But we each all have different dads. We have the same mom. We grew up under the same home, same roof for all of our lives. So we lived with our mom while living with stepdads along the way. But I wouldn't change the things. Those dudes are my best friends, my brothers till the death. And it's cool. It's like God's allowed my brothers, even when we're not together, it seems like we're doing the same type of work. When we're not together, my brothers' friends always seem to go to them for advice. And my friends do the same to me. But when me and my brothers are together, like, we're just no worries. We're just like having the blast. Our vibration's so high, we're just pumped to be around each other. And we attract a lot of great things and people around us, and it's so cool. And I don't take those times for granted. But yeah, I'm gonna get into the start of my upbringing, if I could try to get this done real quick. But yeah, I was raised by my mom majority of the time. My grandparents, my grandpa, he instilled a lot of the manly type values in my life, and without him I would not know how to change a tire, change my oil, work on a car, and change brakes. And I've learned a lot on just how to be self-sufficient from that guy, and he's one of the most stand-up individuals I know, and I thank him for that. But throughout, starting from my grade school life up to high school, I was a little bit of an outsider. I love sports, but never really stood out with sports. I made the middle school basketball team, but never made the high school basketball team. I went out all 4 years, never made it. I had the desire to be on the team, but it wasn't in my cards. But the coaches took notice, and they wanted to try to direct me on a path to figure out, because they seen my spirit, that I had this never give up mentality, but it just wasn't in the cards for me to be there. But let's see. I always felt like an outsider, but it's also think about throughout all my grade school and high school, I was probably only one of the 5 to 10 black kids in those schools, hence how I talk. But I wouldn't change a thing because I believe everything happens for a reason. And because of that, I'm able to talk to both sides of the table. When you got blacks on this side or any ethnicity other than white, I'm able to talk to both sides and pretty much be the mediator and always get respect from both sides and see things from every perspective. And I appreciate that, and I take that as a gift as well that God's been given me. I know how to relate to a lot of people. Yeah, I was more of an introvert growing up. I didn't really do much other than play video games and dive into my own imagination. I would talk to the cool kids and the not so cool kids, and I get heat for that, but I didn't really care. When I went home, that was my sanctuary, and I had fun. But I knew living in that small town, that's not where I needed to be, even though you could still start where you are, especially in this day and age. I can make these videos from anywhere, but I needed the journey and all the experiences to get to where I am now. So definitely leave your comfortable hometown if you have not as well. If you feel compelled to do that, definitely do that. So yeah, I eventually moved away from Pueblo in like 2011. Went to college up here. I was the first to move away from my brothers, as in my friends as well. My close group of friends. I was the first to move away. I had a going away party, and they still didn't think I was leaving. I was like, "Yeah, bro, I didn't just have a party. I don't even have parties. I'm leaving, bro." But it was funny. But I finally started to be more authentic in myself when I moved away, because I wasn't trying to be anybody, to look good in anybody else's eyes. Because in high school, that's what you do. You hang out with those people because they're popular. So-and-so knows who. But up there, when I got here, I was just me, and I began to meet people and became friends with people that like me for me. And I still have a lot of friends that I met through college up here that love me for me. I appreciate that. But everything didn't go as planned when I was here in college. Went to Metro State for athletic training and nutrition. I didn't really care for it. It was what my dad did. Me and him still stay in contact here and there, but that's what my dad did, so I thought I wanted to follow footsteps. I enjoy nutrition, but I don't care to talk about or make sure someone's worrying about their nutrition and health. That's just not my go-to. That's just not what I feel compelled to do. But yeah, things didn't go as planned. I was up here, I had some money issues, wasn't budgeting correctly, some joint accounts I had with some family members, someone took some money, and I was forced out, I'd moved back to Pueblo. I was dating some girl at the time, and she was going to ASU, and just so happened she broke up with me during that time. It was just divine timing before I moved back, and I was hurt. It was one of my first heartbreaks. She was going to school for like music, and she loved music just as much as I did, and she made me these little mixtapes, and one of them, when I finally went back to Pueblo during this real depth, hard time in my life, one of the lowest lows, me being a little bitch at the time, decided to listen to the mixtape, and there was always this one track that stood out, and it was Logic, and I didn't know at the time, but it was like one of his songs called Numbers on his like third mixtape, and it blew my mind, and I finally chose to figure out who this guy was, found out his whole discography, and at that time he inspired me, because I was at my lowest low, had no job, didn't have a direction. I was back in my small hometown, and during that time I began to meditate too. I was like just trying to just go within, Some told me just to start meditating, and I was a little scared to meditate, which is kind of weird to think about. But I was just doing that. I was trying to find inspiration from a lot of things. I was on YouTube, came across this Will Smith little inspiration compilation video, and one of the things he said, he was like, this book, The Alchemist, really changed my life, and I was just like, yo, I need to get this fucking book. Will Smith said this changed his life. I want this to change my life. So this book, The Alchemist, if anybody has not read that, definitely read this book. This book put me on this path I am today. So this book is still one of my favorites. It's actually on my bookshelf here, displayed in front of everything else, because I feel that's what I credit a lot of my journey to, honestly. And back with this shit. But yeah, it was a rough time in my life, but I was able to get out of it because I credit logic kind of crazy. But I began writing and all these lyrics, and I felt like I was compelled to want to do music at the time. So I'm down in Pueblo for almost another year before I eventually moved back to Denver in like 2013. And I eventually moved back up with my mom and my little brother. And it was not the easiest time. That was the hardest time. Moved back up there, living on cousin's floor, futon, for probably about 6-7 months, working like small jobs from a temp agency. At one point I was cutting fruit in a fucking fruit factory, Del Monte fruit factory, in like a hazmat suit with my brother. And it was crazy. I was only there for like 4 days, and I was like, fuck this shit, I gotta figure some shit out. And I got this other job through some temp agency assembling like parts for CenturyLink. Did that for a few months until we got some money to get our own place with one of my friends that I met through school up here as well. And it was a wild ride. But during these times I was going through like some spiritual awakenings. I think going within and starting to meditate, I was being shown a lot of things, and the veil was beginning to fall to the wayside. I had no clue what was going on, but I started to like figure a lot of things out, like JFK's assassination and shit, and it's a bunch of shit I was just so curious about. I was up for like 2 days when I was like going through this awakening. Like there was a day when me and my friend were smoking weed, and he writes down, he's like, I don't want to just pretend to know. I want to really know what's going on in this world, or something like that. He writes this on a paper before we smoke. And that day we were just like blessed with all this knowledge. And we were up for like 2 days straight. And I felt bad because I had to go back home. And I was like, I know my homie's probably up right now thinking about a lot of shit. But it was wild. But from that point on, even when I moved back up to Denver, I was always a little bit more spiritual. And at one point, one of my best friends, he was working at this hotel. He got me a job as a courtesy driver there and a front deskman. So I was happy. This place was like right down the street from my place. And at one point, he asked me if I wanted to do LSD, and I was like, never thought of it, but yeah, let's fucking do it. I'm curious. Before I did like a whole month of like studying like what it does to you and all that shit, and it changed my life as well. I fell even more in love with music. I was able to just see the world on a whole other plane, and yeah, the psychedelics are insane. Done it a few times after. I'm not saying this to be an advocate for psychedelics. I don't feel like anybody should be trying them out if they're not ready or mentally stable to do that. I'll make a video on psychedelics here soon, but do not be in a rush to do psychedelics if you've not done psychedelics up to this point. But yeah, I started to dive even more into music. I started to record. I was able to find this dude that worked as a valet at the hotel who was a DJ, just so happened to be, and he heard I was doing music, and we started to try to find a little group. And he was still in his ego, really, and everything I tried to do, because I was new to it, and he was not so new. He was trying to direct me and things like that. But things went well, but I realized when we were working together, I was coming up with a lot of ideas and things like that, and I was like, yo, if I had these ideas, I don't know how to work this equipment, I just need to know how to work this equipment. So I bought my own shit and started recording myself, figured out I wanted to try to do something on my own, and it didn't really mesh well with this guy, so we had a fallout. He was pissed. I started to record a bit, and I don't know, I just didn't really care to be that guy, the artist, or I don't know, just didn't resonate with me. I didn't want to fall out of love with it as well. But I was being, anything I wanted at the time, it was just being given to me. There was this 40-year-old old man who was the oldest guy on staff. He became one of my good friends. He was only there for like 4 months. But I asked him, like, yo, what do you do? And he's like, yo, I produce music. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Out of everybody we could have hired, you do music? Go back to this dude's place, has a whole smorgasbord of fucking anything you need. Engineering. This dude literally taught me how to engineer tracks, so I have a notebook on how to just engineer tracks from this guy. He's like my Mr. Miyagi of music. And I was like, bro, I feel like you were literally put here just for me. He didn't mesh well with anybody on staff. He was only there for like 4 months. I was like, dude, you were here for me. It sounds weird, but I appreciate you. And I feel the universe does that for people. When you have a divine, when you know exactly what you want, the universe will try to help you out. I had and I still have this mentality of pronoia, that whatever you do, the universe is conspiring to help you. But you have to allow that to happen. You need to get rid of distraction. You need to get real focused in on your intuition and follow that. But yeah, I didn't really allow my music to go too far, but I still love music, and I have plans to help people with music. I'll get more to that as well in some other videos, but I want to make this short. It's not all about my music journey. But yeah, let's see here. Around this time I came across semen retention and NoFap. And I don't know how, I was just on YouTube, always trying to find inspiration, and decided to try it out. During that time, I was still making music. My confidence and everything skyrocketed. I went for about 112 days or so. I picked up guitar, learned that a bit. Never played guitar in my life. But things were just going so well. And I look back on that journey, and it was the best time of my life. And I said in a previous video, I fell because I had some drinks. I had a lot of drinks one night, and allowed this girl to drain me one night, and I was back at square one. But lesson learned. So I started working a few jobs after that, after the hotel job, just to get more equipment, but eventually felt like I was not going to do music, so I was actually let go from the hotel after 3 years. They wanted me to move up because they seemed like I could do more than where I was at, but I didn't want to move up into the hotel and type of business. It wasn't my calling. So the universe just eventually pushed me out of there, and I was paid all my vacation time and everything. I was pumped about it. Then I started to buy and resell things, and I did that for a bit. Took some time to gather myself and got back into the workforce, and now I'm back managing a restaurant after about 5 months at this restaurant. But the season in right now, I'm feeling like God in the universe is allowing me to really see who I am. This place is treating me like I'm a gift, and my GM, I started as a server there. My GM, when one point this manager left, I was like, well, maybe there's a chance I could be a manager. I was curious. I was like, hey, is there any spots open? Like, I'd like to try my hand. He's like, oh, are you looking? Are you interested? I was like, yeah, like, why not? He was like, I was waiting for you to ask me that. And I'm like, what? So after that, I was like, yo, the world is your mirror. Whenever you feel ready and worthy, it's going to give you what you feel worthy of. So I followed my intuition. I'm managing this restaurant now. I'm gaining all this confidence to bring forth my thoughts and lead people around me, and start some other endeavors outside of work. I'm meeting a lot of great people through this job as well, who I'm working with outside of work. Just this past few days, there's this coworker of mine who's a bar back who's literally, I felt a connection with this dude. We barely talked since he's been there. We would just always say, what's up, like, nice to see you, whatever. But not until like a few days ago, we finally sit down, and I get to realize this dude's super deep. And we have this 2-hour long conversation. I tell him how I'm making these videos and things right now, and it inspired him. And I felt so just elated that I was able to bring somebody up and help somebody else out by just talking and getting to know them. And now he's starting his own YouTube channel. His name is Hunter, but he's going by Retnuh, which is Retnuh, because I told him, I was like, yo, I'm going by Salem because it's my name backwards. Everything I've learned up until now, I'm learning in reverse, because everything I've been led to believe up till now has been bullshit. And he's like, yo, that's crazy. Maybe you want to try my name in reverse. And I was like, yo, that shit's dope. Retnuh? So his name's called Retnuh Vision. Definitely check him out if you guys feel compelled or resonate with anything I talk about. He's definitely going to be talking along some similar lines. So Retnuh Vision, Retnuh Vision. Check out my boy Hunter. Definitely check him out. Show him some love. And yeah, I was going to wrap that up. Like, I'm at this point now, all by being curious and being led down, just being divinely led. And I just want to get into a quote here that I feel is really powerful. Let's see, I just want to leave you with this quote. It's not an opportunity if you have to compromise your integrity. So while on this path trying to find your purpose, if you ever feel like you're going to compromise your integrity and who you are, definitely don't do it. It's not what you're called to do. Turn the other way, turn the other cheek. But I feel I'm going to wrap this up right now. If any of this resonated with you, like, comment, subscribe, and be notified when I'm dropping more content. I love all my new subscribers, everything. I'll bring some more great videos for you guys. Comment anything you want me to talk about. I'll make sure to bring some great topics to help you guys level up as well. But again, like always, I appreciate you guys rocking with me. It's your boy Salem. I'm out.